Hello everybody, Atkpwr here with another Tribute to Normandy 44 preview for Steel Division 2. This is 4th Canadian Armor, a division that's definitely probably going to give me the sweats at night. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and consider checking out that Patreon link down below. Thanks to everyone who has supported me or currently does. It really does mean a lot. And check out atkpwrgaming.com for other cool stuff. So, diving into this, thank you to the Strike Team. Remember, all of these things are still up for change before the DLC is released. I don't know when the DLC is going to be released. Hopefully soon, though, with the previews here now. So, yeah, this division kind of, at least when they described in the previews, kind of just looked like an even better version of CIABG or an even better version of First Pensiona. Stan the Man's going to be having a day with this one. Now, a big change to remember here that's not seen, well, actually you do see it, but we won't look at it specifically. Brens are getting an accuracy buff, so Brens might be good now, which means Commonwealth Infantry might be good now, which means Commonwealth Divisions might be broken now. That's the conclusion I get, honestly, because the British, like, the Commonwealth stuff is pretty good in every tab except the infantry. Like, it's very rare that you're like, oh god, this doesn't have any tools at all. Not saying like Commonwealth divisions are broken, but it's gonna be strong. So check out 4th Canadian here. Our Recon tab, pretty solid. We have 4 cheaper slots, 2 more expensive slots here for 6 total. Infantry tab, what is this? 8. So we have 8 slots here with. Actually, it is pretty expensive. Like, only 5 of these slots are pretty cheap. Then they get right into the 3s and the 4s. So, okay, cool. Tank tab is filled. Nope, 9. 9 tabs here. And the last 3 are still all 3 points, but you'll still get plenty of tanks in these first 6 tabs here. Support tab, pretty cheap across. You can definitely fill that up pretty easily with 6 tabs there. Anti-tank tab here. Basically the same. You actually get 1 more 1-point slot, so plenty of AT here. AA tab is plenty. I mean, 112 is that's 3 tabs right there. 3 cards of AA as is, so that's plenty for 1v1. RD tab gets pretty expensive at the end, but you have plenty of slots. 5 slots here for early RD stuff. And the air tab, not big actually, but does have 3 cheaper slots. So you're going to get at least 3 planes in here. So let's dive into this thing. All right, so we have the Otter. 10 points only. It's got a Bren and a Boise anti-tank rifle, so that's not great. 10 points with 8 of these on a card, though, may be playable, but there's a lot of other options here, so I have a feeling you probably don't take this, but it has radio, too. There's definitely upside to this, but the machine gun, even though the Bren is getting a little bit of buff, I still don't think it's good enough that, like, I'm like, oh, sweet, this has a machine gun on it. Like, I still don't think so. The Boise anti-tank rifle is pretty awful at only 20 millimeters of penetration. So, yeah, I don't see myself jumping the gun for this thing. It's definitely a little underwhelming overall. Neat looking. I'll give it that. It's definitely neat looking. All right, to the next thing. Off we go. All right, the Recce. Looks like things are like auto whack. Like his clicker's over here and it's clicking there, but whatever. So let's see here. You can bring Otter Mark 2s in, and the carriers, 2-inch carriers, universal carrier, MMG carrier here. Okay, and then this Otter unit is just gunless. This one doesn't have any gun at all. It's just sticking around. I mean, having radio on a unit like this, like, the truth is the radio is pretty huge. Like, getting 5 points for radio anywhere you want is actually really good. So I would probably take this in the Otter, like, because again, you have an extra recon unit, and more importantly, you have a unit that has radio that you just move around. Like, that is very good. Not to be underestimated. And we have, let's see, so there's the Scouts. Wait, do we just skip way ahead? Scouts SAR. No, okay, so they had the Recon. Okay, Recon's like the same thing. Okay, the Scouts SAR, these are new dudes. We have 2 Stens, 5 rifles, a Bren, and a Piat. Regular availability looks like 369, 20 points only. That's pretty good, actually. It's 8 men. It's not really designed for, like, fighting head-on other infantry division, like, units, like squads, but having a Piat, and again, a Piat's not great, but having any sort of AT on a recon unit is a big deal because it doesn't affect the front line. It gives you something sneaky. It's a chonkier AT squad. It means you don't need these kind of guys in your AT tab, so that's pretty good, honestly. Regular Scouts come in the Stuart Recce. That's fun. Universal carrier, whatever there. All right, so we have regular American Scouts. Okay, they come in the M20s. You probably just take those because they're 50 cals. And as we talked about, 50 cals are gods among men in this game, generally speaking. Scouts Piat, nothing spectacular there. Pretty standard, same transports. Staghound. Staghounds are Staghounds, 90 kilometers an hour. They move fast. The gun is relatively slow firing, but is pretty accurate. Armor's low, it dies to everything. But, I mean, having that explosive of a start unit is generally pretty good. Hard to pass up on, honestly. M8, very similar boat. I mean, the M8's better than the Staghound, but it's C phase lock. So probably don't take this. Because the truth is, by C phase, M8s are not nearly as useful because the enemy has plenty of AT around. These are great at the beginning before the enemy can like set up. You catch things out. It's really obnoxious. Yeah, so probably don't take the M8. Then we have a Sherman. Okay, so we have a Sherman 5 SAR recon unit here. I mean, it's a Sherman 5 with recon. That's pretty good. And is that the same price? Like, aren't Shermans usually 80 points? Like, just straight up? Like, aren't normal Sherman 5s 80 points? We get to the tank tab, we'll check it out, but I'm feeling relatively sure that that's the normal price of a Sherman. I don't understand why there's no, like, recon tax. There's usually, I'm just calling it the recon tax. Essentially, like, units in the recon tab cost more because they have better optics than normal. So that would be really good. Like, this is fantastic. If it's a normal price Sherman that just gets recon, I mean, that's really, really good. I don't really get why they would get something like this, but the availability is huge too. 4.812 with three, supposedly, I would think 3.69 for single vet, which you probably always bring in a single vet. Yeah. Wow. That seems really good. All right, so regular old Assault Pioneers, nothing special here. You do not bring them in the Lloyd carriers. You'd bring them in whatever. Oh my God, yeah, you bring them in the Willy Jeeps there, which you have. Sorry, I couldn't see 50 of them. So you got plenty of those. All right, so yeah, I mean that's standard assault dudes. Defense group, double Bren, 3. Okay, that's nothing new there either. Now again, if the Bren is better, actually, let's go back just a tick here. Check out that Bren. Can we see it? Bren now at 15% accuracy. If I'm not mistaken, before it was 10. So a 5% accuracy bump there is pretty big. No suppression increase, I don't think. I think it's just an accuracy bump, but we'll have to see how big of a difference that makes. That could be huge. I really don't know. These effects are hard to figure out on the card. Like a 5% bump in accuracy doesn't sound like much, but it could have way bigger effects in game when you consider that how the accuracy is applied to each volley and each shot. I'm not sure. I really hope it's not a lot because honestly, Commonwealth, again, is pretty strong outside of their infantry. So if you fix the infantry problem too good, like if you fix the infantry problem too well, then it's going to be Commonwealth game day. Like it hasn't been, as if it hasn't been for the last 6 months with SSB. Motorized rifles, I mean, these are 20 points. They're 8 men. They're pretty underwhelming. Like this is not a great unit. It's got a Piat, which is definitely nice. But it's a small squad that's pretty underpowered. Like it's only 8 men. Stens are not good submachine guns. One of the worst submachine guns in the game, actually. The Lee Enfield rifle is fine. It's a standard bolt action. And like we said, the Bren, while it may have gotten a buff, it's still not beating no MG42s or anything at range. That's for sure. I don't know what it beats at this point. I mean, it's definitely shouldn't be at the bottom of the pile anymore. Availability is not bad, though. These are phase lock to B, so the motor rifle's late. I don't think that's an upgrade, actually. I mean, the light machine gun is an upgrade. The Browning, I'm pretty confident, is better than the Bren, I would think. Even with the Bren buff, I'm assuming this is still better. And it's got a P up, but now it has 3 stens instead of 2 stens and 1 less rifle, which means it's just worse at long range. So you get a better LMG, but worse overall damage output because of the change. And you're not getting any better at CQC. Like, these are still awful at CQC. So having another sten is just, like, not useful at all. Like literally it's just not good. So actually, infantry so far is seeming pretty poor. Like, again, even with the Bren buff, none of these infantry are like, whoa. Rifles. All right, I mean, it's the rifles. It's the usual unit. So again, if this buff to Bren's is really good, then rifles are back on the table, and maybe this is okay. But, I mean, they're cost efficient. They're all 20 points. I'm not going to take that away from them. They are all 20 points. That's really good. From that perspective, you can't say that that's bad. Okay, CMD Stewart. I'd love to see that. All right, then we have the rifles leader. Okay, nothing special there, just a Piat. Rifles Piat. Okay, this is like the best unit you have. Double Bren, 8 rifles and a Piat. Like, this is just straight long-range firepower. Like, that's what you want. I'm assuming the motor rifles come with half-tracks. I think I missed that. I don't remember if they do or not. We can go back here and see. He probably showed us the transports. Let's really quick jump back here. Yeah, the C-15 TA. Ah, crap. Didn't go back far enough. Yeah, they have M5 half-tracks. Okay, so they have half tracks to come in. That's the bonus of those over like a Rifles Piat. Although honestly, I'd probably still take Rifles Piat most of the time. Probably take like one card of those. C15 TA doesn't come with any sort of gun, so it's not anything special. Oh, you get the Kangaroo rifles in here. C-phase lock though. Ouch. Ow, that hurts. Now, triple Bren at this accuracy might shred. Again, I just don't know, but these might severely cut down enemy troops. Can't say for sure. I'm really excited to see them in action. But yeah, this is a bummer. I mean, if you want this division to be good, this is a bummer. I don't. But seriously though, like it is a bummer. Your best infantry not coming till C phase is rough. I mean, it's almost forcing you into like a balance deck or Juggernaut or V for Victory. Oh, this one comes with the Ram Kangaroo. Oh, that's even spicier than the normal Kangaroo. That's got a lot of armor. 70 millimeters of front armor. That's a pain in the butt. Can survive light. I mean, it's not that much of a bonus over the normal Kangaroo. It still dies to most AT. All right, so you do get rifles late, but they're also C-phase locked. So you only get like trash English infantry until C-phase, and then you get American and you get Kangaroo rifles. And Kangaroo rifles are obviously the best Commonwealth infantry by far. Except for if we're thinking like the Gurkhas. Gurkhas are really good too. Now again, if the Bren buff is huge, like huger than I think it is, then English infantry is really cost efficient now. Like, so it may not be super good quality-wise, but it is super good cost efficiency-wise. So, hard to say. I don't know. All right, let's see this tank tab here. Let's see what we got going on. Stuarts. Nothing special. More Stuarts. Okay, cool. All right, we have M475. This is this new M4 Sherman with the higher armor. So, it's got 110 millimeters of armor. 80 points here. Yeah, the Sherman 5 is 80 points. So, why is the Recon version also 80 points? I thought they all had to be like at least 5 points more. I'm trying to think. Am I wrong? Like, am I just straight wrong about this? No, because a Panzer IIIM is 50 points, while the normal Panzer IIIL is 40 points, and they're the same statistically. They just have better line of sight. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, the Panther D is 10 points more. I'm pretty sure the T-3476 is more points, too. Pretty sure Panzer IV. So why is this Sherman the same price as its non-recon counterpart? This seems kind of like bullcrap. Just special for this division? Like it gets like a freebie super Sherman? Really weird. So here's the normal Sherman 5, 10 millimeters. Now, the weird thing is too, though, here. Why does the M475 have the same price as an M5 Sherman? Because the M5 Sherman, the M475 is clearly just better. I'm like panning back and forth here. Are you really telling me the 3 kilometers an hour of speed is the difference maker? That's why it's not more expensive? Because I'm going to call that a bunch of crap. 10 millimeters of armor is 100 billion times more useful than 3 kilometers an hour on the speed. I'm trying to look. Availability. Okay, so these are phase locked to C. Fine. Their availability is lower. Yeah, their availability is lower, but I still don't know if that warrants it being the same price. Like, shouldn't they be 85 points? I'm just trying to think. Because a Stug 4 is 100 millimeters of armor and is 85 points. Now, the gun is better, obviously. But this is 10 more millimeters of armor than that. I don't know. Feeling a little weird about that pricing. Now you get 2 cards of Fireflies here, which is definitely nice. This is the 1C, so it's got 90 millimeters of armor, and that's, of course, the 17-pounder on there. No 50 cals on this thing. B phase locked, but the availability is really high. Like, you're getting 6 at 1 vet, like, so you're still going to have plenty of them. You get 4. Yeah, wow. Yeah, you get plenty of these Fireflies. Then you have another card on top of that. This one comes in A. So obviously you bring this one in A, you bring 1 in B and 1 in C. And you can like, this one you probably have to single vet in A, but then you double vet the other ones in B and C. So you get 10 double vet Fireflies. And there, I just noticed too, there are 9 cards of Shermans. So you could fill this entire tank tab with Sherman 5s. Not that you ever would, but like, okay. I mean, I guess they're trying to represent that if you want Sherman spam, you can have it. You can have all, just straight Sherman spam. Not good Shermans, just straight Sherman spam. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right, Sports tab, you get the Wasp. 2-inch mortar, Wasp. I mean, these things are actually kind of annoyingly good. For only 15 points, they can do some damage. I'm not saying you definitely take these by any stretch, but they are a fun little unit. Vickers. Vickers are Vickery Vickers. 50 cal, but it doesn't come until C, so that's huge. So you probably don't take these unless you desperately feel like you need support in C phase, but you don't. Everything's coming in C phase. This division turns on in C phase. All right, you got M4105, doesn't come till C phase. Dang. Wow. I was actually really scared of this division, but the phase locking on it is kind of atrocious. Like, legitimately atrocious. Like, you will not have good infantry until C phase. You don't have your support. You basically don't have a support tab till C phase. Your recon tab is okay, but not anything. Like, there's nothing there that's like, whoa. Like, there's nothing awesome. There's no good infantry, basically. Yeah, wow. Like, this is not a rush division. I don't see how you win with the tool. I mean, I guess you can just, pull a stand and, like, Sherman rush to heck, but there's no Cromwells even or anything. The Ram 2's cool looking. Ram 2 Commander. All right, anti-tank. You get 6-pounders. You get Piats, whatever. 6-pounder with the normal APCR. Nothing super special here. And then 17-pounders. 4 cards of 17-pounders, too. There's no phase locking here, so you have it whenever you want. Achilles. All right, so you got a ton of 2K stuff, right? Like, AT-wise, at least. You got a ton of 2K AT. You have basically no 2K HE until C phase, of course. That's a long time to wait for a pretty pivotal asset if you have it. A tab looks excellent. You get Crusader AAs. You almost definitely bring these, even just for infantry support, especially at the beginning of the game. But do you really need that when you got Shermans rolling around, I guess, is the question. Well, yeah, this shoots at the air, obviously. Then your Bofors. Bofors are fantastic. You got plenty of those. You got mobile Bofors, too. All right, that's great. And they basically have the same veterancy curve as a normal Bofors. Because if you single vet your Bofors, you're going to get 2 in A phase. You get 2 in A phase here. So in A phase, I would definitely bring the mobile Bofors. Like, no doubt. Yeah, like, no doubt. And then you have the Crusader AA Mark 1, which is also a Bofors with the same availability, but this one has armor. Like, this one actually has armor on it and more ammo. So how much do the normal Bofors have ammo-wise? Okay, so your big risk here with these units... No, actually, these are the same amount of ammo. So this one just has way less ammo. This is actually risky because this is very low on the ammo. Like, this is about 5 or 6 planes flying over it, depending on where they fly. You could really legitimately run out of ammo on this thing. This Bofors has no armor at all. That's the issue there, is it dies to counterbat, but you should be moving it all the time. Like, if you're using this, you're moving it constantly. Anytime it shoots, it moves. So does it need that much armor? Probably not. The regular Bofors, of course, suffers from the issue that you can't move it as easily, and it's much easier to counter batteries. So there's a choice here. I mean, these are all great options. Don't get me wrong. Like, this AA tab is very solid. It's very good. There's nothing wrong with it. All right, we have artillery leaders, spotters. Spotters got the cool Lancaster gun there. Artillery, okay, nothing new there. 81mm mortar, standard. 107 mortar, standard. 25-pounder, standard. B-phase locked, though. That is important to note. B-phase locked on those 25-pounders. Coming a Crusader tractor ammo. Okay, that's a neat little new unit. Fun. Howitzer, C-phase. I mean, the 105s are very good howitzers. Sexton. Okay, Sexton, good stuff. 90 rounds. I always forget how many freaking rounds this thing has. This is insane how much ammo this thing gets. I mean, you almost definitely bring these in A-phase, right? You have, like, 3 times the you have at least twice the ammo as a normal 25-pounder, and the 25-pounder doesn't come till B phase anyway. So, like, these in A, like, 100%, and you just, like, constantly blast your opponent forever. It's kind of nuts. I don't know many other weapons in the game that have this much ammo. And then, of course, you get the 155 Long Tom here in C phase. Remember, guys, this is not the rate of fire. This is a lie. It's 3 rounds a minute. It's just a very accurate gun. So, yeah. All right, so then we have the Oster Recon, nothing new there. F6, B phase lock, so not great. I mean, if this was A phase, this would be great because it could shoot down on the air recon, but you don't get it till B. P38, okay, it's actually not, it's not the worst fighter, like heavy fighter of this nature, but it's also B phase locked again. So I don't know if you really desperately need this unit that bad to bring it in B phase. Mosquito. mosquitoes are pretty good. The availability is low. Medium resilience is great. Speed is good. Bomb loadout is huge. And this is dropping the bombs like straight on them, generally speaking. So, and it's got 420 mils. Like it shoots down stuff if things come straight at it. So mosquitoes are good, but it is low availability. It's 115 points. There's nothing cheap about this. Then you have the B-26 Marauder. This is the good loadout on this, so might be worth taking. The availability is pretty good. You have, what, 4.6? B-phase locked again, though? But that's your heavy bomber. All right, Typhoon. I mean, Typhoons are one of the best planes in the game. They're extremely fast. Not extreme. They're very fast. They have medium resilience. They have 420 mils, so they shoot most things down pretty easily. I mean, these are really good. Typhoon with the rockets. They're expensive, 150 points, but again, the same stuff goes for this. It's fast for this sort of plane. It's medium resilience. It's got the 420 mils, and then this is the ground bomber. This is 155 points. Now, it is a 1,000-pound bomb. So we have two 1,000-pound bombs, two 454-kilogram bombs here. And it's way faster than the rocket one. I mean, this is a good plane. The availability is low again, but you probably bring the Typhoons. The Typhoons are some of the best planes in the game, so I don't know. That's expensive, though. That's a lot of points. To me, it's just terrifying bringing that many points in on a plane that doesn't have very high survivability. Now, this thing does have very high survivability. At 570 kilometers, 5 kilometers an hour, with medium resilience, this isn't getting shot down unless there's at least 2 pieces of AA at some higher veterancy. And fighters are going to struggle to catch this. So, I mean, it is really good. It's really good. I don't know. I mean, this division does not look as scary as I first thought it would look. I mean, I could be totally wrong because a lot of these, like these Commonwealth armored divisions, like can just run you over in a way that feels so bad. And of course, I'm mostly talking about Stan because that experience has happened to me several times. But like the Recon tab here, there's nothing here that's actually phenomenal. Like the Scout SAR is efficient, but it's not like an incredible unit. Staghound, the M8 is basically out because it's C-phase locked. You're not bringing those. The Sherman is very like good cost-wise, but it's still just a Sherman. I mean, it's a Sherman at the end of the day. It just comes with Recon, which is really nice, but you definitely take it, but it's just a Sherman. And all these Scout units are small, 4 or 5 man Scout teams. Like they aren't actually good. This Infantry tab is good in C-phase and awful before that. Like, I don't know. I don't think the Bren buff is suddenly going to make Commonwealth infantry phenomenal. I just think it'll make them usable. Like before, they're an absolute embarrassment. Like they didn't even do anything. Now I think they'll do something, but I still think they lose almost every single fight one-on-one. Like I still think they're the bottom of the barrel in terms of infantry. I mean, the assault pioneers and the field engineers are very cost efficient, like because you can toss a grenade and trade up to a much larger squad with field engineers at only 15 points. They're one of the cheapest grenade throwing units in the game. So from that perspective, they're quite good. But like outside of that, the rifles are all very meh, as they always are. Rifles Piat might be good now. I don't know, because again, that Bren buff, maybe they're good. If they are, then this survives a little better, but it's still not like a great, you're still losing in a lot of places. Long range 100%. In the woods, once people kind of clear out your little like poop units here, you don't have anything. Like it's not like C-phase it gets better. Your Kangaroo rifles are usable in CQC because Brens are automatic rifles. You get 4 submachine guns, even though they're not great submachine guns. Like they're usable, but they're not CQC infantry. And of course, the rifles are not CQC infantry. The tank tab is good. It is. This is a good tank tab. You get Shermans, you get Fireflies. I mean, it does these things. The Shermans dominate anything close range. The Fireflies handle things at long range, right? They don't dominate, but they do handle things at long range pretty well. Support tab is not good. It's really phase locked badly. You don't have any 2K till C phase. You don't even you have a Vickers, a Wasp, and a Mortar in the first in A and B phase. Like that's it. That ain't good. Like especially because your infantry aren't good either. So the Vickers are kind of important to help you survive that time. The AT tab is standard. Like this is a Commonwealth AT tab. It's good at what it does. If your 17 pounders showed up to the game that day, they're phenomenal. If they were on a smoke break and drinking all night, then they're terrible. Like they're absolute trash. Same with the Achilles. Like, and I don't even know if you take Achilles. Like, why? You have Fireflies, which are just better. They have more armor. They do the same exact thing. They come with veterancy. Like their vet curve is better. Like the Achilles are just useless. You bring like what? You bring 2 6-pounders and 2 17-pounders. You fill all those 1 slots if you really want a Piat, I guess. Piats are still very like meh, and a lot of your infantry have Piats anyway. So like you just basically bring a whole bunch of these and that's that. Like there's not much here. It's good, but there's nothing here. AA tab is great. You know, defensively, this division seems pretty solid. RD tab is really good once you get to C phase. Yes, you get the long toms. The Sextons are great because of their ammo. The air tab is a Commonwealth air tab. I mean, it's pretty good. Definitely not the best we've seen, but pretty good. But this will be an interesting division. I don't know. I'm having a hard time saying this division is going to absolutely slap because I don't think it will. I actually think it's pretty middle of the road. I really do. But if you guys enjoyed this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and consider checking out that Patreon link down below. Thanks a bunch, everyone, and have a fantastic day.